with the video that I sent about my internal, what I was trying to parlay to, it was your friend, by the way, was, I felt like she was trying to, and you tell me if that was the question she was asking. I felt like she wanted to know what my internal experience was like, what it's like to be, you know, back here, an inch behind into the blackness. Just an inch back. Yeah. Okay.
I think she's interested in your state of mind for comparative purposes, because she herself is undergoing transformation, let's say, and she wants to sort of probably map her experience onto yours, or vice versa, or something like that. But I'm not, and she didn't sit and tell me that, but I suppose that's part of her motivation for asking.
Yeah.
So,
and it was a fun process for me to rewind, and it's always fun to look at your mind and see what's there, and then put it on paper. Look what's there, put it on paper.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, it's true to my online name, the soteriologist. I'm interested in it for soteriological purposes. That is, to find out what really leads to liberation, and how. And for that, it is important for me to at least vaguely get a sense of where you're at in that process. Not that I want to pin you down, or some sort of critical fashion want to prove that you're not enlightened or something. Nothing of that. Right? I'm actually really curious of what you're going through, and I'll just take your claim to be enlightened at face value. I'll just accept that, and I think it's true. Honestly, I think whatever you call enlightenment, and you've been through it, is, I assume this is the case. Whether that enlightenment is exactly the same that the Buddhist Mahayana processes about full, complete enlightenment is exactly the same, that's another subject. We don't talk about that now. And also, I'm not particularly interested, because I think for the last 5,000 years, nobody has claimed to be on that level. So what's the difference, right? Okay, so we worship him, and that's that. But we're interested in the real stuff, and that's real. Whatever you went through is real, whatever that is. So I'm interested in finding out what actually happened. And I'm also trying, and when you gave your talk the other day, or the other week, about your internal state, in response to my friend's question to your internal development, I noticed a few characteristics of what you said about yourself that reminded me of certain stages on the Vipassana path called the Vipassana jhanas. And that's why I'm interested in going through a few of those, using this book, where Sayadaw Upandita, I think he was a, I think he died in 2016, a Burmese Vipassana meditation master. And by the way, if anybody wants one, in case you get because you're not going to get vaccinated, they will ban you on some island, and you can never talk to anybody else, and you never no access to the internet and nothing. And you have to feed on fish and mice and cockroaches, and you can only take one book. I would probably say this is one of the choices in this very life, because it sort of describes in a not overly complex, but also not under complex way, the whole of the path according to the Theravada Vipassana tradition. So it's very clear, and I want to look at these stages of the Vipassana jhanas with you, and ask you, basically going through them, whether you recognize yourself in those, and how far it goes, in order to gauge somewhere where you probably would locate yourself in this system.